Kamusta na kayo?
Hola, hola, everyone.
What up? It's your girl, Rozen.
Rozen,
Wow.
spelled like frozen.
Yeah.
I'm sick.
Without the
without
F.
without the F.
Yeah.
But you're the first person who actually had like an intro ready.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most people.
Rozen.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. With the,
Shout out Nico Blitz.
Are you a DJ now or what?
Nah. No.
Just the artist.
Just an artist.
Just the artiste.
The artiste.
Artista. Yeah, man.
You've been doing it for a minute, dude. I think I had you on like my super old podcast from back
What
in
was
the,
it called?
the lunch table.
The lunch table.
Back in the
Yeah.
back in the day.
Back in the days.
Way back.
If you know about that, like I fuck with
You're
you.
an OG.
Yeah, you're
OG.
an OG.
Yeah.
If you've seen that interview, OG for sure.
What
Yeah.
year was that? That was like
Ugh, 7 or 18? No, it was here, right? So it must have been 2019.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I moved in here in 2019. I know that for sure. And then you were here.
Was that here?
That was here. It was in the other room though.
Okay, with all the vinyls.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
ever since I moved in, like we've had to convert the apartment a little bit.
Look at you.
Yeah, now we have an orange wall.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that
Come
your
on
idea?
now.
Yes. We still haven't finished it. It's just been an orange wall.
No, I
and
love it.
initially we had like an idea to like put a sign and stuff, and we just painted it orange and then forgot about it.
Hey man, less is more sometimes.
Yeah, that's what
that's
I'm
true.
saying. I mean, I like it. I dig it.
I like it a lot.
So how's the artist life, my friend?
The artist life. Man, it's always an adventure. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like there's God, like there's always a story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like lately, I don't even know where to start. Like artist life. I just dropped an album,
Ooh,
right? So
Congratulations and condolences.
yes,
all pink.
all pink.
I thought you were gonna wear pink today, by the way.
Dude, no, I'm
The
mourning.
lenses are pink.
Yeah, this is the only pink.
Yeah, pink, purple.
Pink, yeah. Honestly, prior to this album, like I rarely wore pink. Rarely.
You wore all black when you were here last time. I remember that.
Well, here
On
I am
brand.
now.
On brand. Hell yeah.
Wow, the consistency.
We love it.
I love it. Yeah, no, artist life is very interesting. I feel like it's gonna be very interesting this next chapter because of recent changes in my personal life.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you were to listen to my album, you hear it have a happy ending, and she's in all black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, I was grieving the loss of my dad, and now I'm grieving the death of a relationship, and it's gonna be definitely reflected in my music moving forward. So
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy because it's like here I am celebrating this album that I just released, thinking like, wow, this is gonna survive for a long time. This is gonna be my story for a long time, and it felt like it just like
Yeah.
Took a dump, maybe.
took a dump.
Because you go into it initially thinking like, okay, like you said, this is my storyline and this is how I feel my life is going. And you're putting, as an artist, you're literally putting your heart and soul into
Yeah.
these lyrics, and you're just kind of like, well, shit, now
Yeah.
now what?
I feel like did I jinx it? Did I jinx it by putting his ass in a music video with me? I told myself I wouldn't do it.
Wow.
But then I was like, you know what? I was engaged. I thought it was like legit. Like I thought it was forever because it's like, oh, he put a ring on it. Yes, I could throw his ass in a music video. Had you ever seen him in a music video of mine before? No. No. Until Safe Space, because it was basically like our engagement video. You think about it. It was like all neutral colors, all white. I was rocking my ring. We're telling our story. It's real Polaroids of us. And it's like that. I can't just play that right now.
Yeah.
And it's like when you choose to be your most authentic self and tell your real fucking story, holy shit, it hurts because I didn't think that this was gonna take a turn.
Yeah. Well,
So-
I mean, go ahead.
So like as an artist, now that, because a lot of like, like a bunch of artists share their story, and now that you've put like the music video out, you've like said your story and you've said the story about a relationship, does that in turn kind of make you want to bring it down, like bring down the music video?
I don't see myself taking down that body of work, like any aspect of the album. I don't see myself taking it down, the music video, none of that, because like it was my truth. At the time, I thought it was my forever, and who would I be as an artist if I wasn't telling the truth
and transparent about it too?
Yeah, and like also, I was within our relationship, I was very forthcoming. Like, I'm gonna write about my real experiences, and if you're with me, I'm gonna need you to be okay with that, because that's who I am as an artist. I want to be my most authentic self and write about my real shit.
And there's a level of vulnerability that you need to put yourself to, you know, because at some point, like, if you want to convey your truth, you're going to have to get to that place internally and also with the person that you're with. So it's actually very, you know, it's crushing, right? It's crushing once you get to that spot and then unfortunate circumstances happen because you're literally left with, I'll draw up like a real life scenario. Jackie's nail popped off like a month ago, and so her whole like pinky was fucking exposed.
Yeah.
And so as a person, like when you're trying to get to that spot, it's like you know what I mean? Like you got to think of yourself as kind of like that fingernail, like you expose yourself so then anything that hits you fucking hurts.
Yeah, like raw open wound. And I just feel like, you know, I it's all part of my story. So the next like body of work, I'm definitely gonna talk about it. I'm definitely gonna share kind of what happened.
Yeah, it's a new era of you.
It's back to R&B, Rozen.
Yeah.
Like I went pop for a hot second, and now it's like, oh, now it's back to let's go back to R&B Rozen.
Yeah.
Like back to that same vibe of like Nobody and Butterflies, like my first EP. I feel like that's the way that I want to go. Like when Rozen is sad, she's full on R&B. When Rozen is happy, she's like in your face kind of pop.
Yeah.
And so finding the happy balance there is probably going to be really exciting. I want to release like an EP next.
Yeah.
And it's all about telling the story, you know what I mean? So even coming down to like repurposing content that I've shot with, you know, someone who I thought was going to be my forever, repurposing that and using it in a music video.
I mean, shit, it's all yours.
It's all mine.
It's all, yeah,
Right.
No, literally.
Yeah, exactly.
And, I mean, even this like last album too, like you said, the title speaks for itself, and you having to go through, you know, coping with the death of your dad, and we're so sorry about that. Like, but it's like true raw emotion. Like, how do you even go through being like, okay, I want to talk about it?
I feel like if you know me, you know Rozen talks about her shit. Like it's the way that I cope. I have to talk about it. Whether it's like getting it all out in my journal or just voicing it in a voice memo so I can hear it like a year later or a few months later to hear the progress and hear myself heal, or like just talking to a friend and just like expelling everything that I'm feeling.
Yeah.
I when emotion gets like built and pent up inside me, it feels like a bunch of bees underneath my skin, like vibrating. I don't like holding on to shit. Like I really don't like it. I feel it so heavy. So I try to just feel everything, like go straight the fuck through the pain. And yeah, grief really put me on my ass, because I'm the kind of girl that does everything like really fast. Like, okay, what's the template? Tell me what to do, how to do it right. Like, let's do this shit. Very Virgo-esque, but you know, but grief, ain't nobody gonna give you like
a template for grief.
Yeah.
So you have to feel every fucking little thing.
Yeah.
Like that wound has to be raw, open, and exposed for a while before it finally starts to heal on its own.
Yeah. You know, I've always had this belief that like when you are going through a hard time, right? Like it's actually tougher to just try to mask it and not deal with it. So my whole thing when it comes to grief and pain, like, you know, we obviously just lost somebody who was like super big in the Filipino community, right? Like, so I literally told myself, I'm like, I'm going to feel every part of this. I'm gonna be fucking sad.
Yes.
I'm gonna eat what the fuck I want to eat. I'm gonna not shower for like a day or two. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna do all the shit that I know that is going to allow me to just fall more into this grief, because once I hit the bottom of it is the only way I can only bring myself up afterwards. But if you haven't given yourself the opportunity to hit that rock bottom yet, like you're just forever gonna stay in that weird, that weird gray area where you're not really sure what you're feeling.
Yes, absolutely. And when you suppress it, like for me, it's like grief is like this. You start and you're like, oh fuck. And then you're like, okay. So when you start to suppress it, all of this shit is going to be so delayed. Sometimes years delayed.
Years,
And it affects you as an adult. It affects your relationships. It affects how you communicate. It affects how you grieve in the future. So it's better to not. It's like, it sounds corny, but like feel your fucking feelings in real time. Sit in your shit, but don't sit in it too long.
Yeah. I guess my question is, because I know how like the Mexican community deals with grief, and we are a bunch of people that don't like to talk about it. Is it the same for Filipino communities? Because like I said, for me, like I went through grief at like 15 and I lost my grandfather, and that was the most devastating thing that has happened in my life.
I'm sorry.
And I was just like, I suppressed it. I was like, okay, in turn, it still comes up in our relationship. It still comes up with like, you know what? There's moments where we're talking about stuff and I'm like, well, with my grandpa, and I'm like, shit, I didn't even get that out when I was 15. Ooh. So does the Filipino community kind of like, are you guys like okay with talking about grief, or are you guys kind of just like,
or maybe even just from your personal experience?
Okay, so I will speak on my personal experience, and if this hits with any other Filipino families, then there you go. There's the answer.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I feel like my family feels all the feelings. daming feelings naman. No, I'm serious. Like, just even thinking about, like, I have to laugh. I know to some people they're probably like, wow, Rozen, why are you laughing around like the death of your father? But with Filipinos, like, we're very goofy. Like, there's a lot of we're so goofy, yo. Like, we're not the most poised at times. Like, I'm sure we'd like to be, but even around death, like, so many big reactions. So many big characters like reacting so differently. It's goofy. It's almost hilarious, because it's like, oh my god, y'all are really feeling all the feelings all at once. It's chaos.
It's confusing. It's like,
it's so chaotic. It's like, you're like, oh my god, it's not like the movies where it's like a nice like poetic moment and there's a piano playing in the background. No, it's like, ay nako, oh my god, ay sus Mario, ay ano nangyari? Like, it's chaos. But then there's the drinks that start flowing. Your titos and your titas and your cousins, all the kuyas and the ates, they will bust out the red horse. They'll bust out all the drinks.
Not the red horse.
Yep. And then they'll toast to the fallen loved ones, and we will reminisce. Like, for my family, we will sit around and we will reminisce about stories. Like, when my dad passed, that's exactly what we did. And I do actually want to talk about this, because it's been a while since I've been to a Filipino funeral in the Philippines, for someone who is very well respected in the community.
Wow.
And it was like a 7-day wake.
Wow.
Wow.
7-day wake. And it started from the night he passed. We were not ready.
What the heck?
Like, we were like, what? We have to feed all these people? Dad literally just passed away. Like, his body just got to the morgue. We have to pick out a casket. We have to talk to the mortician. We have to okay what the mortician did. And then we got to put on a party.
Yeah.
Starting tonight.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's how quick it moves in Mexico too. Like, literally, like, you're gone on a Monday and you're in the ground on Wednesday.
Yep.
If not the next day.
Yeah.
And I've always thought that was so crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe it's because it's like in our home countries, but like to me that was always just like, okay, maybe this is why I think in the Mexican community we don't have that time to grieve
because it's so quick.
Because it's so quick. We're like, okay, we gotta do this, and we gotta.
That makes hella sense.
That does
actually
make a lot of sense. Speaking on the opposite side of that, geez, like it was a long 7-day wake. Every day was a different theme. So the first day, there was no theme. It was disheveled. We were all just a mess, a mess. And all of these like highly influential people showed up, and I remember feeling like, oh my God, how do we do this? How do we do this? I'm a mess. We look horrible. We're wearing like the clothes that we arrived at the hospital in like the night before he passed. And none of us have our shit together.
Yeah.
And
how are we gonna do this?
How are we gonna do this? And then you have like people who, you know, the judgy titas that are like, oh my God, where's the food? Where's the lumpia? Bakit why there's no drinks? Where's the Coke?
Yeah.
You're like, what? Hello?
Like we're grieving here.
We're grieving here. Why don't you bring the freaking food?
Yeah. Why don't you do something?
Yeah, you wanted it so badly.
You wanted it so bad. Why don't you bring a plate? What the fuck? Sorry, tita.
It's BYOP. Bring your own plate.
Yeah, shit.
Exactly. But 7-day long wake. Each day was themed. Themed. So like one night was family night. One night was Coca-Cola night. So everyone that my dad ever worked with in Coca-Cola, because he was with Coca-Cola for 36 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So he ended up pretty high up in the Coca-Cola ladder.
Coca-Cola, yo.
Coca-Cola
ladder.
Emphasis on Coca-Cola. But all these people showed up and we were singing. We sang. Everyone sang. Everyone got up and told their stories about my dad. Beautiful stories that I had never heard.
Yeah.
So there was Coke night, family night, and there was like music night. So like that night everyone sang. And mind you, this is taking place like in the morgue, in like the I don't even know what it's called, but like where they where they hold the wake. Yeah. And it's like a
mortuary.
Yeah, mortuary.
Yeah, the mortuary.
Yeah, so there's like a bunch of other deceased like in the hallway, and you get to you pass their headshots. And it was painful because it's like, hi, Dad. Like, we would go and see him, and his body is chilling in there because in the Philippines, God. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but you protect the body. You do not leave his body unattended until he gets rested and lowered into the ground. I did not know that.
Oh, so there was somebody with the body 24/7 for 7 days straight.
Yes. Family members would take turns. I slept in there like, I think 2 nights.
Really?
Wow. Literally slept in there. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds insane.
Did you bring like pillows or anything?
Booze, we brought blankets, we brought Wi-Fi, karaoke machine.
Not the Wi-Fi?
I'm serious.
Oh, shit.
Wi-Fi, we brought the whole back area was like a fully decked out kitchen.
So almost like, because I haven't experienced like a funeral, a Filipino funeral in the Philippines, right? So it sounds more so like a celebration of life.
Yes, absolutely a celebration of life. I remember Dad requesting all white as well. He's like, oh no, you're celebrating my life. He's like, you are singing this song, this song, this song. Y'all are singing every day. I don't want you guys to cry for too long. Like, I really don't want that. Like, you are celebrating.
Oh, so he was still calling the shots.
Oh, he called the shots for everything. Even his funeral procession playlist. He was like, I don't want you to sing that other Amazing Grace version. I want you to sing the OG version. And I was like, okay, Dad. Okay. Yep.
I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's lit. That's cool.
Dad was crossing off everything. Like,
I'm gonna just get it off. I'm gonna just say it now. I cannot wait till that happens for me. So I'm gonna make everybody do whatever the fuck I want them to do for one day at least.
Yeah.
I mean, I can wait.
You can
right?
wait.
I can wait.
We can all wait.
Yeah, I can wait. But when that day comes, just know I'm gonna be happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy for your dad that he got all his wishes out through you guys.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Because it's like, he got what he wanted. He just wanted to be surrounded by family. And everyone flew in. And we were all there. And I believe that when you see someone off, like when you watch them take their last breath, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
It's for a reason. It's meant to change you for the rest of your life. And I know my siblings and I and my mom were bonded in that forever.
Yeah.
Forever. And I think it's like the biggest blessing. I never thought I'd say this, but I think it's the biggest blessing to be able to see my dad take his last breath in the hospital where I was actually born in.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was huge because I was like, wow, I got to watch you have your last moment on earth and you spent it with us.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting pretty emotional off of this. I've never heard a story like we've been watching Grey's Anatomy for the past like 2 weeks. This is definitely a story that's
it's almost in like the most respectful way. It's a beautiful life lived.
Yeah. It was a beautiful send off, and the last thing we did was sing to him. We live streamed mass and we sang
on Facebook.
No, like we were, we had the I don't know what mask we had on, but it was just us in the room and we were just singing all the worship songs that we could that he loved. And then like right around the time where we were like, okay, this is gonna be our like last song. We don't have any more songs to sing. That's when his heart monitor started to like. It's like, how did he know? Yeah, like. I remember him calculating down like the amount of blood bags left too, being like, nope, that's it. Like, I don't want to take any more. Like, give that to someone else. Cut off the food. Okay, by this time, like, I'm probably going to start fading away right around this time. So start mentally preparing for that. He was calling out everything, like preparing us. And we're like, Dad, just chill. Like, we got it. But he was just making sure everyone was good. Like, really, really making sure.
To the last second, too.
To the last second. And I'm like, I honestly don't think my dad's done because I feel like he's been the guardian angel to reveal things about people in my recent past that I didn't really see before. You know?
Yeah.
And I think there's a reason why I was alone the day my dad passed. And that there wasn't anyone standing next to me to hold me. I don't think that person was meant to be there.
That's
you know what? I just got chills when you said that. I literally just got chills. Like that's because like everything does happen for a reason like that, you know? Yeah. Oh my God, that's so freaking emotional. Oh my God, because I think about that too, and it's like I've never Nico didn't get the chance to meet my grandpa, and in my prior relationship. I was like, okay, maybe I should take this person to visit my grandpa's site. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that. And I never did. And then with Nico, it was like a no-brainer. Like he was like, okay, yeah, let's go. Let's go take the time. Yeah. Let's go do that. And wow, that literally hit so hard.
Wow.
That is crazy to think of.
Bruh, where's the Kleenex?
Oh my God.
Cutting onions here. Cutting onions,
God.
bro. Yeah.
I got you guys. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Babe, press 1 and 2.
Okay.
1 is us, 2 is Rozen.
Okay. But so obviously, like you said, your dad, took his last breath in the same hospital that, you were born in. Yeah. When you came to the States, what was that reaction for your parents?
Oh my gosh. They were so excited.
Really?
They were so proud.
And you came solo to the States?
Oh yeah, I definitely did. It's funny. I kind of touched on this our very first interview ever.
Oh yeah?
How I came to the States. But that was totally my call. It was I was gonna be a junior in high school, and my dad was like, Rozen, I know that you're in boarding school right now with your ate, but your sister's about to graduate and go off to UBC, go off to college. So I don't want you in boarding school alone in London. I have these places that I could possibly be assigned to: Chile, Canada, or we could go home to the Philippines and I can retire early and you can go to school in the Philippines and finally call it home. And I was like, got it. Okay, so I have those 3 options. Research the schools. I even toured a school in the Philippines, and I was like, this ain't it. I love y'all, but I was like, uniforms? Hell no.
Oh, believe me, I was wearing uniforms for 10 plus years, dude.
Yeah. I rocked uniforms in some of my other schools, but these were plaid maxi skirts, bro. I was
Oh my God.
no, that's a hard
Nah, hell no.
Yeah. So then out of all of those places, I was like, Dad, I want to go to the States. He was like,
Those weren't the
That wasn't an option.
right. It's like, do you have Coke? Yes. Okay, I'll take a Sprite. Like, it was like, you know what I mean? Like, he was like, how are you going to do that? I'm like, well, my favorite aunt lives in Michigan. It was the first place I ever visited when I was like 4. When I came to America, I fell in love with Chicago and Michigan. And I was like, I want to live here. I really want to live here. If I move to the States ever, this is where I want to live. I fell in love
Michigan.
with it. Yeah.
Good old Michigan.
Good old Michigan.
I was just out in I was just out in Grand Rapids the other day.
Let's go. I have family there.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
Let me just say this. This is how I knew Grand Rapids. I want you to get back to it, right? But let me tell you how Grand Rapids. This was the thing. We pulled up at like 12 because there was
Like
a
midnight.
massive delay. There was a massive delay. We were coming from the Chicago airport, right?
Okay.
So we pull up to this chicken spot at like 1 o'clock in the morning. And as soon as we pulled up, I seen 3 dudes just sitting in front of this chicken spot. As soon as we pulled up, the lights are on. They all stood up as if it was a problem. I said, oh, no, hell no, bro. Like,
We're leaving.
we're leaving. We are turning this freaking car around, and we're going into the only McDonald's within the vicinity. And literally, as we kept driving, there was nothing was open, dude. Literally nothing was open.
It's a family town.
And so now I'm wondering why. Why Michigan? I know it wasn't Grand Rapids, but Michigan.
Okay, honestly, for real, when you're 4, when you are 4 years old, you don't realize that Michigan is different from Chicago. In my head, in my 4-year-old brain, the trip in Chicago and Michigan was all in one place in my brain. So I thought, like,
funny.
if I move to Michigan, it's really close to Chicago, which it's not far off. It's only 2.5 hours away.
Yeah.
So I was like, I love that
Okay.
shit. I would escape to Chicago any chance I would get.
Wow.
Like, any chance I would get. But I chose Michigan because I knew that, like, it was close to Chicago and I had my favorite aunt and uncle and my cousins there. And I just knew I wanted to live here one day. And I was like, if I move there when I'm like 16, I can audition for American Idol. I can be a pop star.
That's peak American Idol.
Hell
too.
yeah.
It was
Like,
peak. And I was like, oh shit, but then it ruined my plan because I was on a student visa. And so I was like, but you know what? The application process for citizenship takes hella long, so I might as well start that now. I was like really logical about it. And my dad was like,
okay.
okay.
You're a citizen now, right?
I'm a
Yeah.
citizen now.
Okay.
Yeah. There's like a little vlog on my Instagram, and when my parents found out, back to your original question, they were like deeply emotional. Yeah, so emotional. One, because they couldn't be there, but because they were like, finally, like one of us is like an actual American. And I was actually supposed to be born in the States, but like they wouldn't let my mom on the plane because she was way too far along.
pregnant. Yeah.
But she's like, I want to give birth to her in the States because she's gonna be American. But I'm like, hey, I made it happen.
You think about, like, let's say you were born on a plane, like,
Shit.
we're like, where do you fall, like, in citizenship?
I don't know. That's a good question.
You know, I think this.
Right? I feel like it would have to depend on, like, where exactly on the map you are. Because, like, if you're more toward the U.S.
But like, wouldn't it be based on your destination? Like, you are arriving there, ain't no turning back.
That's very true.
Okay, but if I was going to Ireland, am I Irish?
Yup.
Yeah, I would assume.
For real?
So. Yeah, I think once you like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, now what if there's a pit stop? What if there's, like, one of them random pit stops like China?
Is Ireland the final destination?
Yes.
Okay, you
Then
Irish.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sure,
I would
sure.
assume so.
Yeah.
Everyone assume this is true.
Yeah. Well, okay, is it like the same? This is completely opposite, but is it the same theory as like when you're 19 and you're traveling internationally, but you can drink because you're
That in
Because you're
Mexico, yeah,
legal
like,
in, like, your country?
right?
Yes.
I think that's the loophole, right?
That's also the loophole because like when I went to Mexico, I was technically of drinking age, like the second or third time I went. But my parents didn't let me drink. My family, like here, they're big like you're gonna wait till you're 21.
Uh-huh.
And sure, I did. Till I was
Sure.
20. Yeah,
We all did.
So,
Yeah.
so then there's a loophole now. Let's say I'm born in the Philippines, right? I'm there for like a year. I move to the U.S. I could technically drink whenever I want because it's all based on consent. Because in the Philippines, it's consent.
No, it's
no.
like where you are. That's what our point is.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're totally missing that.
Yeah.
You totally. It just.
Sorry, I'm stuck on the flight. I'm stuck on all this shit.
Yeah, he disoriented that flight, took him out. That turbulence.
I didn't eat today.
Yeah.
Let me just put that out.
We gotta feed him.
Yeah.
We gotta feed the DJ.
Yeah, we got dog.
I know.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
takes up most of the time.
Oh, well, that joke went over both their heads.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it didn't.
Yeah,
I
it didn't register.
It didn't
Okay.
register. It's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It's
We
fine.
both fucking
Asians eat dogs? Okay. Anyways.
Oh my god!
Oh, so now it registers as soon as I just say it blatantly.
Oh
my
no.
God.
Actually,
Rozen said,
we can say that.
Yeah.
because We're fucking Asian, bro.
yeah. Know what I'm
Asian or
saying?
Pacific Islander? That's the real question.
Ooh, which box do you tick?
I mean, it depends. If we're in Hawaii, you know what I mean? I'm gonna do both.
Both of them.
But you know what I mean? If I'm like around more of my Asian friends and we're watching anime,
Interesting.
Asian it is.
Interesting. Honestly, I tick both.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
Both.
if it works, it works.
Yeah. I'm like, I feel like the general consensus of the people who review that, they'll be like Asian, Pacific. Oh, she's Filipino.
Yeah. They're gonna group. Oh my goodness! I never
Oh my
thought
God,
of it.
That's
Like,
hella funny.
like because they don't give a Filipino option, but if you check both, it's like okay, they are Filipino.
Yes.
Oh,
that
that's
is my
lit.
That's
logic.
hella funny.
That's
Yo.
my logic.
They're just gonna know.
Fight me. Fight me.
Yo, that's a great indicator. I never thought of that.
That's hella funny.
Fucking
That's
so
actually
smart.
like,
I love that.
I'm gonna start a trend. Take both boxes.
I'm sick.
Hell
Be
yeah.
nice.
So, question: my cousin, she just turned 30, and she just got her citizenship. I think this year or last, right?
Yeah.
How long is that actual process? She's been here for a minute.
Oh yeah.
She's been here for a long time.
I believe that. I've
Yeah.
been here for like 10 years. And that shit took me like 7.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that took me 7 years. 7 long years.
And then in between all that time, you have had to get like a job and everything.
Like I did the whole I went from student visa to permit. Like I got my work permit.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah, and then work permit, and then I got my green card. Then I was rocking the green card for a long time. I was like, I was actually emotional on the day of my citizenship because they're like, turn in your green card. And I was like, no.
Oh, you gotta give it back.
Can I get it back?
I know, I'm like, I can't keep it as a souvenir. You can't like punch a hole through it and like
Like,
give
can
it
you
back
give me a copy at least?
yeah, and it's not like that shit looked cute. I rolled out of bed that day. My hair was like this.
Hair up,
Yeah, it
lashes
looked like-
off.
Yeah, like I have a Mickey Mouse T-shirt on.
Stop, that's hella funny.
disheveled, like disheveled. Not my best, but I was like so emotionally attached to that. I was like,
Yeah.
this got me a job. This kept me here. But yeah, man, like it was a very long process. So if anyone out there has gone through this process, like props to you. And if anyone needs my flashcards,
I'm sick. That's hella funny.
listen, 10 out of 10, baby.
You
Right
need
here.
to take tests.
Yeah, you have to take the.
I mean, I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
I know that.
I don't know this.
You have to know like
Yeah.
the presidents,
Yeah.
the national anthem.
Yeah.
You have to know like certain events in U.S. history.
Yep. Don't quiz me now.
Dude, I'm not even gonna lie.
I just knew that information for that moment in
Yep.
time, and that was it.
I don't even know this shit, and I was born here.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my grandma knows more U.S. history than I
She
do.
pro-
because
she probably knows
had
more
to
than
go
all
through
of
that
us.
process too.
Absolutely.
That's fucking
My
wild.
mom probably knows more U.S. history too, because my mom had to go through that process too.
Yeah. Listen, those flashcards are lit. They will make you a citizen. Okay. I got them.
You still have them?
I still fucking have them.
That's
Like
so funny.
I'm holding on to them because I'm like, listen, somebody needs this. DM me.
You gotta
sick.
bless someone.
Yeah.
That's like a citizenship like packet. You gotta do it with like an
Honestly,
album
you
release
should
or
do-
something.
You should do like what you I'm fucking sick. I'm fucking sick.
That could be your merch.
Oh.
I'm fucking sick.
Yo, U.S. citizenship flashcards. That's funny.
Honestly, if you did like a if you like made copies of all of them and made your own like game, you like study for your U.S. citizenship.
Lit. Don't get me started on another idea.
Hey, this sounds like a fat money grab that you can put on Target or something.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
We got to get Millennial Loteria on this too.
I'm sick. Yeah.
We call it Rose Citizen.
Rose Citizen.
That's.
And then the slogan's like, become a citizen in less than
8 years because
less than 8 years.
That's hella funny.
Oh,
with my face.
That's hella funny.
Holding the card.
with your green card,
like those insurance billboards.
The Adriana's insurance. Oh my God! Wait, I have actual tea on that. The Adriana's insurance.
Have you seen the billboards of those?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
if you're in LA, this is iconic.
Yes, if you know, this is what I've heard, and this is what my mom told me that she saw it on some like Spanish series or I don't know what the hell. So this could or could not be accurate. But apparently those Adriana's insurance, you know how she has a random ass dog?
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently that's supposed to symbolize her sister. And she's kind of calling her like a bitch because her and her sister got into it. And her sister is Veronica's insurance, the other billboard.
Don't they both have dogs?
And they both have dogs because they're feuding and it's literally family beef.
Oh, that's
Isn't that fucking crazy?
Wait.
How
did you learn this?
My mom told me this, that she heard it somewhere, so it could or could not be true. My mom could also be.
Can we get a fact check?
Yeah, no, they are definitely sisters.
Wait, that's
I have looked it
wild.
up. I have looked it up, and they definitely.
So they're just petty, but through billboards.
Yes.
What in the shade?
Is Veronica's insurance? I'm like, is Veronica's insurance?
Wow.
I'm gonna laugh my ass off every time I drive past one of them.
No, literally every time I see it, I'm like, fuck, she's calling her sister a bitch. That's crazy.
Tell me why I drive past it and I'm like,
and these are everywhere,
But
y'all.
that's such a random thing, right? It's like a dog in a suit. You're kind of wondering, and you're like,
yeah.
Then now that you know this, you're gonna be like, fuck,
the shade.
Yeah. I mean, dogs sell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm like,
dogs
she
sell.
loves her dog. But I was like, wait, her name's Adriana now?
Yeah, so it looks like they are related.
And are they feuding?
And they were a part of I think this reality TV show is what my mom told me, and then that's how that shit happened. Yeah, crazy.
That is nuts.
Yes.
I love that. I love that fun fact.
Yeah, fun random ass
that
fact. If you live in LA, you know what billboards we're talking about.
Yeah. Oh my God, that and freaking Jacob.
Oh, Jacob and Ronnie, the one that's upside down.
Jacob and Ronnie.
Didn't you say one of the?
Yeah.
Didn't you say one of the other insurance guys or in the mafia or something?
Oh yes. Okay, so there's this one guy. Oh my God, what's his name? Oh my God, there's it's literally here in LA too. What's his name? Let me see. Hold on.
We gotta find it.
I'm blanking right now too. Company. I'm shooting a blank.
Insurance
Not
guy.
shooting blanks.
I'll shoot blanks all day.
Insurance guy, LA.
Know what I mean? I'll shoot blanks straight into a napkin.
I'm fucking sick. Oh my gosh. I need to ask my brother.
I can't with us.
Can't.
Know what I mean? Shout out my fellas with the crusty socks.
I'm fucking sick.
Know what I mean?
That's crazy.
You ain't.
The crusty socks.
I'm sick. I'm gonna text my brother. He knows exactly who I'm talking about. Guys, who is the?
So what was the Jackie?
Quest.
I don't even know. What was the hardest part about the 7 years during that time of you getting your citizenship?
The hardest part.
Yeah.
I think being patient.
Mm.
The hardest part was not being able to go home to the Philippines for 5 years because I was waiting.
Ooh.
I couldn't leave the country.
Oh, so you can't leave the country while you're in that process.
Yeah. When you are okay, your citizenship is coming any day now, can't leave. So for 5 years I couldn't leave. So for 5 years I did Christmases in the U.S. Yeah.
With your family that was already stationed here.
Mm-hmm. So I would try to sync up with my sister. She lived in Toronto at the time, but now she's married to my high school and college best friend.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
They're in Michigan.
That's
Good old
hella
Michigan.
funny.
So I would spend Christmases with them in Toronto or in Chicago because he also has family in Chicago. So we would spend Christmases in the Midwest. And then when I was in a relationship, I would be in Utah every other Christmas. Yeah.
Might I just say, like, you are a true Filipino just traveling the freaking world. You're literally everywhere.
That's hella funny. I'm everywhere. So had you not, like, if you didn't pass your citizenship test, would you have gone back to the Philippines and just been like, okay?
Honestly, I don't even know how to answer that question because it wasn't an option for me.
Mm.
I was like, I'm passing this motherfucking test. I have sang the national anthem. I have paid my dues. Okay, I have lived here. I am fucking American. Like, you're gonna give me this. Like, I burned all my ships. I was like, I'm fucking staying. Okay, like, point blank period. I'm passing this shit. That's why the flashcards. I was like, I don't give a fuck if I have to sing the national anthem to my interviewer. I'm going to pass this thing.
You just gotta run it.
Yeah.
Did
10
you
out of 10.
actually sing the national anthem to your interviewer?
No, but I asked him. I was like, do you want me to sing the Star Spangled? No, you don't want me. Okay.
Oh, say, can you see?
You know what's funny? Like, a really funny story about the national anthem and me. Like, my mom and I literally would practice singing the national anthem because in my head as a kid, I always thought that if you sang the national anthem at Dodger Stadium, you made it. I always thought that.
I adore that.
And I was just like, yeah, like, Mom, I want to sing. I can't sing, by the way. God, I can't sing.
You can sing.
No, I can't.
You can sing.
But,
I believe
Yeah.
Nico.
no,
She can sing.
I literally can't. But it's like, I had that thought in my head, and then, like, I'm working at Dodgers, and I'm like, there's so much more that goes into being an artist than singing the national anthem at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, I was so innocent. Like,
I know, God
and that's
bless
the
little
only
Jackie.
reason I know the national anthem.
Damn.
Which is crazy. And my mom still tells me, she's like, do you remember, like, we would practice? I'm like, yes, Mom.
That was their bonding.
That was our bonding.
It. That's so cute. Dude, it's sad, but I know the American national anthem more than the Filipino national anthem.
I just know the ton of money. Na, 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 na. See, you know way more than me. Like, I don't even know the words. I just know like the melody.
Inflections.
Yeah, the
So, like,
I just gave
inflections.
you 4 words. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So what's longer, the Filipino national anthem or the Mexican national anthem? Because that shit is long from Mexico.
Fun fact. You want to know a fun fact?
Yeah.
Okay. So the Filipino national anthem should be the same length as the French national anthem. As the French national anthem, because I heard that the Filipino national anthem is the French reversed. Like the notes are reversed.
Oh.
If you play the French one back to front, it's the Filipino national.
So okay. Because initially I was like, there's no way you could just put the French national anthem in reverse word-wise. Like, that would just be insane. But it's the notes.
It's
The
the
notes
notes.
are
See,
backwards.
53 seconds is the Filipino national anthem. And the Mexican national anthem, I have a feeling it's like 2 minutes. Oh my gosh, hold on.
It's the time, like,
Well, shoot. I mean, if we're running on Filipino time, the Filipino national anthem could be like 10 seconds.
yup, that part. With runs included and big
Yeah.
notes. Yeah.
Or
Damn,
just give out a big...
That's the Filipino national anthem. I'm sick.
Point
I
with your
would
lips.
whistle to do the Mexican national anthem, but I don't know how to whistle. Like, yeah. I'm fucking
Yeah,
sick.
it's amazing.
Go
Yeah.
off.
I mean, that's all I know.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm fucking
Jesus.
sick. It's 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
The Mexican national anthem?
I just
Y'all
saw on
extra.
Wikipedia. I saw on Wikipedia it performed by the National Symphony Orchestra of Mexico. It's 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
How do you squeeze that in for like live streaming sporting events? Don't they give you like 50
Oh, no,
seconds for
there's-
the
Oh,
anthem?
no, it's long.
No,
It's long.
they accommodate for that.
Dude, you don't
time.
remember the Pacquiao fight? The Pacquiao fights were so long because the intros were just so fucking long.
Yeah, dude.
I'm fucking
Extra.
sick.
I love it. I love it.
hella funny.
That is damn. That I still would say like I would love to sing the Philippine national anthem for a fucking boxing match.
Really?
That'd be lit.
Listen, I would. That's when I would feel like I made it.
You know what?
Really?
Yeah,
I love that.
You're
You know
like, I'm
what?
done here. Thank you.
There might be a chance. I don't believe she's a boxer. I believe she's a kickboxer. But on Instagram,
Yes.
we follow each other. Her name's Pinay Fight on Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she's
her
probably.
fights.
I'll see her videos. I'm like, oh, like she could kick my ass. Like I'm not
go.
fucking with her.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Dude, I'd be down. I'd be so down. Hell yeah. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
I'm sorry.
It's finally cool to see like other Filipinos. Like I mean, music's obviously amazing, right? But it's cool to see other Filipinos in like so many different fields now. It's cool.
Yeah, I'm like, when did we become cool? When did we become when did we become cool, man?
When did
all of a
like-
sudden people are like, oh, by the way, I'm half Filipino. No. By the way, I'm half Filipino. By the way, I'm like 25%.
23andMe.
Yeah, I put my 23andMe in.
They be posting it like
Yeah.
like their Spotify rap.
Right. Like the point.
Not the Spotify rap.
It's like the
Great
screenshot.
nationalities.
Oh my
I knew
god.
it. I knew I love Filipino food.
You were You were part of the 5% of Filipinos in Michigan.
I'm
Yeah,
fucking
that part.
sick.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Dude, no, but like I love that people are embracing their Filipino culture. And when people just embrace their roots, period, it's beautiful.
Oh, 100%,
It's absolutely beautiful. And I feel like it empowers other people to do the same. You know, it reveals so much about who you are. Even when you have like no real like deep family connections. I've seen people travel back home to the Philippines after like being born and raised here in the States.
Right.
But then they go back home and they feel like reawakened.
Oh,
Well,
dude.
that's how you feel.
Dude, I never, like, I literally told her, I'm like, we can leave right now with all the money that we currently have and be good for years.
Yes.
And mind you, it's not a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
we've also said the same thing too, because I like this year Nico was finally like able to see where my family comes from, and like I was born here in the States, but every time I go back to Mexico to visit family, it's like this feels so good. This feels so happy. I'm like at peace here. I love it, and like he finally saw it. So like next year, I'm planning to go to the Philippines with him. I'm excited. I'm nervous because I know like the family over there is a whole different ball game too.
Bruh.
And
Yeah.
I'm just like
What-
one of his ate shout out to Ate Baby.
My Ate Baby, her name's literally Ate Baby.
Of
Yeah.
course, I got one too.
Might be the same one. You never know.
I know.
No, but like she'll like call him sometimes and then she'll like say like, hi Jackie. I'm like, hi out there, how are you? Good. When are you having babies? Thank you.
Always.
I'm okay, but thank you.
Yeah. Do you have tattoos as well?
Yes, I have this one, and now we kind of have a matching-ish one.
Cute.
Yeah, we just got these in Hawaii.
Yeah, but he has like an island, and I have a hibiscus flower. So
That's really fucking cute.
yeah, it's a
Thanks.
stamp, and then he got this one in the Philippines.
Yeah, I actually just got this one in the Philippines. It says Tu Barangay Balanga, which is like the actual sign. Like I've known this sign. Rather, I've recalled this sign like my entire life ever since I went when I was like a child. And so I know every time we're there, because it's like literally 3 hours to get from Manila Airport to where we're at.
It's a trek.
And once I see the sign, I'm like, we're fucking here, dude. We're fucking here.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, I asked because do they give you shit for having tattoos?
No, not
As well as
anymore.
not having babies?
Not anymore.
No, well, I mean, I haven't gotten anything. I don't think they know that I have tattoos.
Yeah.
So maybe.
What about you?
Oh, yeah. Like, ay, nako, you're so beautiful. Wag na ha? No more ha? No more. No more. They're like holding my freaking hand and they're like, no more ha? Kasi on your wedding day,
Oh.
diba, you want to show your skin. And I'm like, I'll show my fucking skin. And
Like
my
regardless,
Regardless.
Yeah.
Regardless, like I kind of like, dude, I don't know if I have the balls because needles. I'm like, nah. But I'm like, dang, could fuck around and find out about a sleeve.
Literally,
Hey,
I
do
thought
it.
about that. I have definitely thought about a sleeve. But this one was originally going to go back on the back of my shoulder. But then my mom, which is crazy, my mom has like a silhouette of a dove right here for her dad, which was my grandpa. But when I got this one, she was kind of like about it. And then after, she was just like, no more visible ones. So when I was about to get this one here, I was like, okay, if I do tell my mom, I need it to be in a good place. If I don't tell my mom, then I could put it there and just, well, we'll see what happens.
Yep.
And I literally came back from our vacation. I was like, we gave them their presents from Hawaii and everything. I was like, so I have to tell you guys something. And my mom's like, what? I was like, so I got something. And then she's like, a tattoo? I was like, yeah. And she goes, where? I'm like,
Straight face and everything.
And I was just
Where?
like, right here. And like, I showed it. And my dad has tattoos, like all
unfazed,
over. So he was like unfazed. And I'm just like, okay, what's about to happen? Are we about to leave this house right now? Like, but yeah, I like, it's whatever at this point.
Yeah, man. Filipinos can be very opinionated.
Oh, definitely.
Of the tattoos, of the, the suitors, as my family calls
The
it.
suitors?
Yeah, the suitors. They're like, ay, now that you're single, dami ng suitors.
Oh my God.
Lots of suitors.
And you know what?
Be judgy of each one.
And can I bet that literally the day after you broke up, they were already like telling you had suitors?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
It's quick.
Yeah, it's quick. Like
It's quick.
My mom was like, "Babes, don't worry. Like it's don't be mean to him. Don't speak ill of him. But it's not meant to be. And I know it's painful, but." She's like, I know there's a lot of suitors lining up outside your door. All you have to do is open. And I'm like,
Thank
God
you for
bless.
those words of encouragement, mother.
I was like, I fucking love her, man. Because I was prepared to hear, like, what the fuck happened? Like, what?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
guys were engaged. Like, what happened?
Yeah.
Nothing. Like, the family was really, really respectful. I was scared for a long time because I was like, I don't want to deal with the
Yeah.
So did you
opinions.
not tell your family for like a little while?
For a while.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't tell them for like 3 months.
Wow, really?
That's a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, they sussed it out. They're like, oh, her energy is different.
Yeah.
It's different on Instagram, on social media. It's different.
Honestly, we started noticing too, and then Jackie brought it to my attention. She's like, I think they broke up. I'm like, I don't know.
And I'm just like, well, I'm not gonna ask. Like, that's not something you ask. And then like,
Oh, it is. Apparently, a lot of people were like,
the fuck happened?
Well, I don't want to be like chismoso, so I was just like, I'll just wait.
Because you also have to respect people's like,
grieving period.
Yeah. And then like, luckily you said too, like your family was really respectful of it.
Really respectful. But they started getting antsy. Like,
That's
they started
helping.
getting antsy, and then they were like blowing up my sister. Because my sister knows everything. We're
Yeah.
very close. And she's married to my best friend, so we're all hella close.
Yeah.
And my 2 brothers live in the Philippines with my mom, so they're all like,
What's going on over there?
Yeah.
like, somebody tell me something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, they're not posting each other. They're not on each other's feed. What's going on? Even family in Michigan, like, who do we make out the Thanksgiving cards to? A solo person? A new address? Like, did she move? How do we ask? Are they both coming for Thanksgiving? Or is she staying? What's happening? So, like, I was really surprised because I was preparing for judgmental Filipino like backlash and like hearing all of that, which I might still get this Christmas.
Yeah.
But like my immediate family, like shout out to the Lalas family, like they really were so loving and respectful. Like they always surprise me because when I'm really going through the depths of my pain and like sorrow, they're like, oh damn.
Yeah.
We're not,
Yeah.
we could be dicks. Like I have 2 older brothers, okay?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it is crazy, like, how, like, everyone says, like, oh, like, a mom's intuition is right, or your family's intuition is right, and it's, like, so fucking crazy when, like, you want them to be wrong, but at the same time, you're like, fuck, you're right. Like, that, like, I know with my previous relationship, I think I told Nico this too. Like, my brother literally sat me down and he was like, there's something off about this guy. I don't know what it is, but literally, like, I do not like him. And I was just like, and me being all fucking stupid, I'm like, oh no, there's nothing wrong, but okay, I'm gonna have to see for myself. The worst fucking mistake I could have ever made. Well, but it's like your family knows. Like, your family knows, and you're like, fuck,
bro.
I wish you didn't know.
I know.
Well, I feel like also, too, at the end of the day, experience is a lot. You would rather go through an experience than be told
oh, yeah.
what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like
I feel like other people can believe it, but if you fucking don't, you're gonna do what the fuck you want to do.
100%.
Like, you're only gonna be ready when you're ready. Other people can tell you all the fuck they want, but if you don't want to move, bitch, you won't move.
Literally.
I'm gonna stay in the fuck right here. I'm gonna be stubborn. You can be wrong or you could be right, but I'm gonna fuck around and find out.
And I know that, like, us Latino women and, like, Filipino women, we're stubborn as hell.
Oh, I will.
Amen.
I will 100% own up to that.
I feel like so bad for him because, like, literally I'm the first, like, or out of, like, the ethnicity, like,
non-Asian
he's ever dated. So, like, sometimes I'm like, fuck, I think I'm too much for him. Like,
no, never too much. No,
they
never.
They told me, like, don't date a Latina because they're spicy, stubborn, all the above.
Problems.
And I'm just like, attitude problems, right? And I'm just like, nah, it'll be all right. And the next thing you know,
I need to see for myself.
Yep.
Go through these experiences.
This might be a learning experience for all I know.
Hey, man. No, but, like, honestly, y'all are a really good balance. I love it.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. I really love that. And
thank you.
Dude, like, I mean, with relationships, it really does. It can take a turn randomly. You don't see it coming. It's like that meme that you see of God, like, with the little girl. The little girl has a teddy bear, and God's crouched down, and he's, like, reaching out for the teddy bear. And she's like, but I love it, God. And behind his back, he's got, like, a big-ass teddy bear.
Yeah.
But we don't see what's coming next. But we have to feel that pain. And it's funny because when my dad had his final days, I felt so called to record a lot of our conversations, like, on my phone. So I would just, like, hit record and just get lost in conversation with my dad. And one of the days I came home from, like, running errands, and my mom was like, Dad wants to go talk to you, so go see him. And I was like, that's weird. That's really weird. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, what's happening? And I go up to his room. He's laying in bed, and he's like, I just want to talk to you. I'm like, okay. Like, what is this deep ass serious conversation? He's like, what's going on with you and so? This is like a few months before I got engaged, right? And he's like, what's going on? Is he the one? Does he have your best intentions at heart? What's the plan for your future?
Right.
How are you guys going to sustain each other financially? How are you going to do this? Like, what does your future look like with this person? Have you talked about it? Like, where's this going? And I was like, Dad, like, what? He's like, do you guys love each other? Are you in it for the right reasons? And I was like, absolutely, yeah. And I'll be completely honest. I pulled, like, a plan for our future completely out of my ass in that moment. I was like, I'm just gonna say whatever this man needs to hear in order for him to feel better,
to feel at peace with it too.
Because I'm like, you're asking me here for a reason. Like, this feels really final.
Yeah.
This feels like you're crossing off your T's and dotting your I's.
Yeah.
Making sure that his daughter's
Is
gonna
good.
be okay.
And I was like, oh, this is what this is. This is feeling really morbid, but I had to be like, it's okay. Like, I need to make you feel good. I need to make you feel okay. If at the time, because we didn't know it was terminal, if you end up passing away, I need you to feel okay about leaving us behind and not worrying. And I just said whatever I needed to say. And we started talking about work and everything. And I didn't realize that he was saying so much when he was saying what seemed to be so little. And it's actually in my album. And it's funny where I placed it in the album. It's like smack dab right in the center of, like, the entire, like, full string out of the album, which is kind of crazy. Like, I didn't mean for that to happen. It's the interlude right before the song I wrote about my dad. And out of listening to all the voice notes, I was like, I feel called to put my dad's voice on this album. I feel really called. I have to. And out of all the voice notes, I chose this one section where he's just like, you know, understand that at any point, like, life and things can just turn around so fast. And I was like, that's it. That's the thing I need. I just know I need that. For some whatever reason, I remember getting goosebumps and chills and crying. And I was like, that's it. That's like short and sweet and it's relatable. I need that in the album. And then when I was like doing all my album artwork and I was looking at the voice notes, I was like, what should I call this interlude? What should I call it? And I looked at the info. You know how you can like look at the info and the timestamp of like everything? It was like, it was the day that he found out it was stage 4.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was the day he found out.
Man.
And so that's exactly what he was doing. He was like making sure everyone was good because he knew like, okay, stage 4, let's be real. Like, there's kind of no turning back from that, especially with his unique case. So it's just wild.
Yeah.
Like, it's just wild because I feel like I've been living out my album from like track 1 going forward, which if we stay on track,
you end with a happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I think I'm manifesting the right things, but maybe it wasn't with the right person. I don't think I was ever asking for too much. I was just asking the wrong one.
Yeah. And maybe like also too, like you said, like you put out this album, you know, with the intentions of that point of your life, but that album could have just been a manifestation of this is what's going to happen.
You might have just predicted your future.
Yeah. And it's kind of crazy because it feels like this season right now, when I sing in my feelings, I'm not singing about my dad. I'm grieving something else. But it's just funny. It's just funny how words are spells and you can really manifest some shit. If your energy is there and you channel it into creativity, that energy exists and dwells within every note, every nuance of that song.
Yeah.
And like, people really do feel it. I remember questioning like, ooh, are people gonna feel this shit? And like, when people tell me like, I cry when I listen to your ballad, or I cry when I listen to In My Feelings, they're like, I can feel your emotion. And I'm like, oh, tight. It worked.
Yeah.
But it's just funny seeing how things are manifesting. From the first track, it's Wandering Eyes. And
yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah. And it's just crazy. And then Narcissist, this person I wrote the song Narcissist about, like, this person is just present in my life, and I'm like, that's kind of weird. Like, weird situations, and I'm like, okay, weird. Let's skip to the next track. Sloppy. I've had many sloppy nights since being single. You know, it's like, oh, Rozen rediscovering herself, rediscovering her fun side, what her tolerance for alcohol is. Because I've been basically wifed up and like tucked away for so long, and like hearing my friends be like, oh, bitch, there you are. There you are. Where you been? Like, we missed you. You've been like beady-da-doo boot up for hella long. And now it's like nice to see me be social again, like going out more and just like having more of a fun time, like letting my hair down and, you know, not being so serious all the time. Sloppy. Yeah. And then, like having the VIP experiences with BBO, VIP, First Lady, I'm saying like, I should put myself first. Like it's this time. And now that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
After I licked my wounds with In My Feelings. Yeah. And then on the happier later end of the album, I'm talking about what I need in a relationship. In Sunbay, I'm talking about running off to the beach, and I'm literally telling this now hypothetical significant other, like, when I'm sad, just pick me up. Just like hold me. Yeah. When, like, let's go to the beach, say fuck everything, and let's have a conversation on the beach. Let's communicate. Like, I'm literally laying out all of these instructions within the lyrics, and there were times where I would literally sing this song to that person I wrote it about. Yeah. And it would just
go over.
Yeah. So it's like funny now because it's like that song exists, but maybe it's gonna exist for someone
somebody
else.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Forever Yours, the ballad. I remember the day that we wrote it. It was at a lock-in in Colorado with this amazing music camp. Shout out to Anthem Music Enterprises. I remember showing up there with no song. They were like, you can show up without a song. You can show up with a half-written one, and we will finish it in like 6 days. I was like, bet. So what do? I showed up with fucking nothing. I was like, he said I could. So and then I get there, and they're like, wait, you like don't have anything?
It's like you weren't supposed to take that literally.
We really like gotta finish something in 6 days.
Right. I was like, no, like I don't have like shit. Like I don't have lyrics. I don't have a concept. I don't have nothing. And then I was like, wait a minute. I want my own like dum 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 dum. I want that, and I want an ode to my family's or my mom and my dad's love song, which is Unchained Melody. And I wanted to seek inspiration from that. So yeah, I brought it to that camp, and I remember writing it down. I was like, I want to write about my person. I want to write about my forever. Like, I want this to be a wedding song for people someday. And the first lyric is, I met this boy in Cali back in 2000 something. And I remember I was like, oh yeah, like back in 2014, yeah, that's when we met. Like, let's put that in there. And I remember co-writing this with Terry Josiah at the time, and he was like, let's leave it open. Let's leave it open.
Wow.
Like, let's not be so specific. Let's leave that open so that it's relatable to multiple people, but it's still your story. And I was like, okay.
That makes sense.
And now it's open for anybody who...
Yeah.
And I played Forever Yours, like the rough cut for my dad when he was in the hospital. I was like, Dad, I don't know if you'll be able to hear this when it's done. So I'm going to play it for you now because it reminds me of your song with Mom. And he was like, okay. Popped it in, listened to the entire thing without saying a word, just shut his eyes. And then at the end, he like smiled, and he like takes one headphone out, and he goes, the only thing I will have you do is take the beginning line and add it at the end as well. So if you listen to the ballad, the outro ad-libs go, and then I end it with, I met this boy in Cali. And it just ends there. But like, how did Dad know? He's like, you met this one dude, but then you gonna meet another dude in Cali too. And it's like, it's just funny. I'm like, wait, Dad.
How do you even go about like realizing that, you know, because at some point you have to realize like, oh shit.
Unagi.
Like,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yep, 7 skin rules.
Yeah.
Like, what was the moment that you realized, holy shit, my album is something completely different than I intended to, and it's now playing out a completely different part of my life that I'm currently living?
I found out through my friends. I found out through my friends who were listening to the album and knowing what was actually going on behind the scenes. Like my would-be bridesmaids. Okay. Like, shout out to Kristen. Kristen sent me a voice memo, and she was like, girl, have you listened to your album since like the split? Have you listened to it? Like front to back, including like your dad's soundbite. Like, have you really listened? Because she's like, I'm listening, and I'm like, it's hitting so different now. Go listen to it. This was probably about, like a month ago. I really listened to it, and I was like, shit. And I remember saving a voice memo because I was freaking out, and I was like, bitch, I think I'm manifesting this shit, like track by track. Like a lot of the experiences I'm having, it's like a lot of more elevated experiences after heartbreak again. So it felt like, I don't want to like be disrespectful when I say this, but like it felt like me grieving my dad was also a dress rehearsal for this grief.
I was about to say, like, maybe there was like something in your subconscious telling you to talk about these things. Maybe that's what you felt internally that whole time.
Dude, it's funny looking back now because it's like even listening to Safe Space, the lyric is like, it starts off with, baby, I don't want to go. I want you to want me to stay. Wrap me all up in your love. promise that you'll always keep me safe when I'm in this space with you. And I'm listening to it now and I'm like, I didn't want to go. I wanted you to want me to stay.
I mean, even prior to us like recording this, you were like, I just wanted that person to come in after me.
Yeah. Like, I'd take 10 steps like, I'm done. I can't deal with this shit. Like, you coming? You gonna come chase after me? No? I'll walk a little slower then. Like, yeah, no, seriously, it was a minute. But like the turning point when like I went like read Rozen and I was like, oh bitch, it's switched over. I'm Rozen left the chat. Rozen left the chat. That was October. I was like, yeah.
And I feel like now, like you had a purpose with this album, and now it's more of an album, I think, now of empowerment for yourself.
Yeah. It's funny. I had a different idea for it. But now it's like, wait a minute, it's manifesting in real time. Like, what the fuck is this magic? It's wild. And I feel like I'm so in tune with my dad and his guidance because honestly, point blank, I asked him, I was like, yo, Dad, I'm gonna need you to like hard reroute me. Okay. Yeah. I was like, and I need you to be really obvious. And he was laughing. He was like laying in the hospital bed and he was laughing and he was like, I will be really obvious. I was like, can you please DJ my life? I asked him this. I was like, can you please DJ my life? He went, yeah. He like let out a big smile. His eyebrows like raised. Filipinos love to do that, by the way. The eyebrow raise. And he was like, absolutely, I will DJ your life. You'll know it's me because I'm gonna put on the right song. And I was like, okay. He absolutely has been doing that. Like, it's obnoxious sometimes. It's like, okay, Dad, I get it. Yeah, like I kind of went on a date, and on this date, one of my dad's favorite songs played.
Wow.
This, yeah, like it, and it was a live rendition. It was a cover, and I was like,
"You're like, hello."
That's crazy.
You're like, hello.
I'm like, are you co-signing? Do you approve of this? What are you doing?
Yeah,
that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I just picture my dad up there like being like
this
Nico,
guy,
like
this guy,
this guy right here.
This guy right here. Hey,
that's
or
cool.
not even. Maybe it's not even like this guy, but it's like, hey,
yeah,
you're moving in the right direction.
Yeah,
exactly.
This is what you asked me to do, and I'm here.
And a lot of the suitors, right? Because I'm pretty selective. Like I'm still really hesitant to like give my heart away. That's absolutely not it. But is it does it make me feel beautiful? Yeah, because it's like, oh my God, I put myself on the shelf for so long. I forgot that I'm like pretty to other people other than this one person. So it's like, oh shit, like let me like flex a little bit. Like this feels great to be like pursued, you know? And you know what a lot of them have in common? Good taste in music, golf.
I
Faith
fucking
in God.
hate golf.
Yeah, but I'm like, Dad, wow. He's like, oh, this one, he plays golf. Oh, this one, he likes Frank Sinatra. Oh, this one. Like, I feel like that's what he's doing.
Oh, this one, he likes Coca-Cola.
He likes Coca-Cola. Yeah, no, I'm serious. I feel like that's what it's been. And I know that we made that pact. So I'm like, oh, without a doubt, it's totally
You're just going to trust it.
Oh, I trust it. Because I feel like anyone who's ever lost a parent or someone like so closely connected to them, like people always say that I was like my dad junior. Like I'm the female version of him in every way. When you lose someone so close to you, you have such a deep connection that when you feel their presence and their absence, it knocks you on your ass. Like, I think you can...
Yeah.
It knocks you on your ass, and nothing, no one else matters. In that moment, you just hold space for them.
No, absolutely.
Like, nothing fucking matters.
Yeah.
You are completely, like, in awe of...
how this is transpiring.
And that's when you know. And, like, the goosebumps and, like, the crying, it hits you. It just hits you, and you're like, oh, okay. that's what this is.
Yeah.
That's how you can discern between like what the fuck's going on in your head and like an actual presence from a loved one, like visiting from the other side. And I don't think a lot of people can relate to that unless you actually have lost someone
and have gone through that like final like part. I mean, grief is always going to be there, but like that like piece of it too.
Yeah.
And I truly didn't get peace until last year, I would say, when I finally talked to one of our friends. We had him on the podcast recently. He's a psychic medium. And like last year when I first started radio, he like came in because I told the guys that I work with, like, I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I've always wanted to talk to a psychic medium, And it wasn't until that moment, literally a year and a half ago, where I was just like, okay, I finally got my peace. I finally got what I needed. I wanted to know if, you know, my grandpa's with me and what he knows and if it is true, you know. And I finally got that. And I was just like, okay, now anytime I feel that presence, I'm like,
you know,
okay, I'm not scared. I know that you're here, and I'm totally okay with it.
Look out for signs too. Like if you have a specific sign, like I looked up, like how do you know if like people are connecting with you or if it's a sign from someone who passed? And I Googled this shit, and I remember seeing feathers. Like if you see a random feather, that's a sign that they're there. They're letting you know, like, yep, I'm here. And I remember like coming home after Googling that one day. I came home from work, and there was like a big feather on my doormat.
Oh my God.
I bawled, and I was like, okay, you're here. I was a mess, and sometimes that happens like more often than not. I told my dad I love seeing angel numbers. I'm like, Dad, I don't know if you believe in this, Dad, but like numerology and shit, I'm like, I love that. So I'm like, if you ever want to be like, ding, 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 yes, Rozen, yes, you're on the right path. I'm like, Dad, send me some freaking angel numbers.
Yeah.
I've been seeing that shit left and right since like choosing myself. Yeah. Honestly.
I love that.
Yeah. So it's just
it's
nuts.
finding those like you said, connections and those things that you can connect with somebody that's passed on, that are just like, okay, I'm here.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't get nervous for performances anymore, because before he passed, he was like, oh, I want to be there with you. He was like, oh, you think you're going to perform by yourself? I'm going to be there with you. And oh my gosh, he absolutely did just that on my album release party. People were putting up the projector visuals behind me, and I'm over there with my champagne, like giving a toast. Out of nowhere, and I confirmed this with the projector lady, my dad's YouTube pops up, and he just starts singing to everyone. It's a cover of him singing like
oh my God, I got chills.
Yep. He starts singing Country Road, and he pops up.
Not Country Road, Take Me Home.
Absolutely. We're Filipino. We're going to sing that song.
Oh my God, that's even more like... Oh my God.
Take me home to a place
I belong.
West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Yeah.
I only get cringe about that song because we sing that song every fucking time we're doing the rave.
Oh yeah,
that's like our prep song before the rave.
I believe it. So
that so he pops up.
Yes, there's like footage of me like talking, and then everyone just goes, and they're like, your dad showed up, and I was like, what? I turn around, and he's huge on the projector screen. He's huge, and he's singing. And I was so floored. I froze. I froze in that moment, and I was also a little drunk. So I was like, I am completely speechless, and people didn't know what to do because they're like, oh shit, this was not supposed to happen. And she's glitching right now.
Yeah.
I was like
they don't know whether to like
they don't know what to do.
Or like
applaud
or
like those fucking GTA, characters running into shit. I was glitching hard, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, you know what, guys? I think Dad just wants a moment. I think he could never resist a full room and an audience, so I'm just gonna let him sing for a bit. And everyone just watched him sing for that song. And then I stole back the mic. I was like, all right, Dad, now you're just showing off.
Yeah.
But he does make his appearance.
That is
He really does. I've
That's
only
so
dreamt of him.
comforting though. Like, I mean, I've had like, you know, my experiences and encounters with like thinking what my grandpa is showing me, but it's so like comforting to know that you have so many.
So many. I think it's because I was like very me and said, Dad, when you do show up, it's gonna look like this, right?
Yeah.
And he was like,
Yeah.
yup. What about this? Yup. And I'm like, okay, great. You're gonna show up in these ways, and when I see that, I'm gonna get that feeling. And when that feeling aligns with that occurrence, I'm like, oh, that's you. My sister's like oblivious to the signs. She's like, Dad doesn't visit me. He don't visit me. I'm like, yeah, he does. He visits
You just don't see it.
Yeah, you just
don't
have
see it.
and you have to like look for him too.
And we have to remind her, like my brother-in-law and he's really good at reminding her. He's like, you don't see it, but it's oftentimes to do with our daughter. Veronica's named after my dad. My dad's name is Ronnie. And so when they had a girl, they're like, Ronnie, how can we incorporate that? So they said Veronica.
That's hella funny.
And her favorite toy is...
My mom's name is Veronica.
Oh, shout out to the Ronnies in the world. Yeah, there's so many just alignments too. Like she didn't even realize Veronica's favorite toy is a baby lion. And my other niece, Emma, gave my dad a tiny little beanie baby of a lion.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
And she was like, Lola, keep this on your chest. He's going to protect you and keep you safe while you battle cancer. And every night he had this lion on his chest, and it's actually buried with him. It's buried in there.
Oh my gosh.
Along with a hat that I got for him that says best dad by par. It's like a
Stop. That's
Well, you love golf, right?
and he's Filipino, so by par.
Jesus.
that is so cute.
I love that.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Well, shout out to your dad.
Shout out to Dad, man, the OG singer of the
Yeah.
Lalas family. And yeah, like he's gonna be in my music forever and ever. Like,
Yeah,
I feel
as he
he's-
should.
Yeah, his influence is gonna be coursing through my pen as well. Yeah.
Well, everybody, make sure you check out Rozen on Spotify, Apple Music, and all that. Rozen.
Yep.
Frozen without the F.
Yep. Don't you forget it.
Risen, but with an O and a Z.
She has risen Rozen.
She has Rosen.
She had Risen.
Honestly,
She has Rozen.
she has Rosen.
She had Rosen.
Oh shit.
Double entendre.
Come on, merch ideas. Okay, she has
Rosen.
Rozen. Yep. That's
And
a
you should-
conversation starter.
You should honestly drop it around Easter too. She has Rosen.
Oh, with a
I
photo of me
just
like,
think y'all just need to be in a room together and just start spitballing all these
Yeah,
ideas.
literally.
I'm like, what's your
Just-
human design? Are you a generator? Do you know this?
Just hire Jackie as like a creative director or something at this point.
I'm never gonna leave this place.
Literally, the creative juices are just like.
Yeah, no, we'll be in here nonstop. Yeah.
That's hella funny.
Oh my goodness.
Well, Rosen, where can everyone else find you on social media too?
I would say everything's linkable through Instagram. So at official Rozen Lalas, ROZEN LALAS. And then that lovely link in my bio, click on that for a surprise because there's like a plethora of
Just hella shit.
Rosenness. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Amen. My name is Nico Blitz.
I'm Jackie Ramirez.
And I'm Rozen Lalas.
And this is the Mexipino
You froze
podcast.
for a second.
I was frozen without the F.
Glitch.
I glitched. Peace.